August 1st, 1984, Joseph Tabor and Lewis Earl Myers are found shot to death in a pickup alongside of a gravel road 13 miles outside of Conway, Missouri. Kind of an odd place for somebody to be shot at, I would assume, but who knows? It was 1984. So, before they are found deceased, they were involved somehow in a scandal that was being investigated by the Missouri Department of Revenue. So, in the summer of 1984, the director of the Missouri Department of Revenue, a gentleman by the name of Richard King, says to the newspaper, he tells the newspaper in an interview that only about half of the car dealers in Lebanon are involved in this. Now, why that's odd is Lebanon is nothing but used car dealers and boat factories. There's hundreds of them. I mean, they're everywhere. But there's an investigation going on. People are rolling back odometers. Car dealers are rolling back odometers. Title fraud. You name it. There's shady stuff going on in the used car world. Now, Tabor and Myers, I never found anything that actually said that they were directly involved into this. All right. Well, long story short, and again, I don't have all of the information. I can't seem to get the case files from Dallas County, Missouri, or Laclede County, Missouri. They said because it's an ongoing investigation, they cannot release the case files, which is kind of odd if you ask me, because, I mean, it was over 40 years ago. I think it was 41 years ago, actually. But anyway, these gentlemen are found shot to death in this truck way out past Conway. Don't know exactly where. Can't find that information. And they're found dead. 15 rounds into the car, or into the truck. The cause of death was gunshot wounds to the back of their heads. Okay, that's pretty crazy. So if you start diving into it, in one of the newspaper articles that I looked up, I went to the local library and looked it up on the microfilm. One of the papers that they quoted said that Myers and Tabor they were informants for the FBI involved in this case. FBI vehemently denies that they had anything to do with this case, that these guys were not informants, which I found ironic because when I looked up an article on this from the Springfield news leader, Springfield's a pretty big town, about 50 miles from Lebanon. In their article, they show a picture, and in this picture of the crime scene, there's two FBI agents standing in the photo. You can't miss them. You know, the blue the blue windbreakers with the yellow FBI written on the back. You can tell they're FBI because they're wearing the jackets that say FBI on the back of them. They deny anything. Now, local legend says that this was a mob hit out of Chicago because somehow or another the mob is involved in this rolling back of odometers and title fraud and all kinds of craziness. The law enforcement end of it says that they believe it was over a girl. It was over a woman. That woman was never named. Now, crackheads. You can't get away from crackheads. They're absolutely everywhere. Anyway, local law enforcement says it's over this woman. They don't name the woman, they just say it's over this woman. But I believe it was Myers' son did an interview with the local paper, the Lebanon Daily Record, and in that interview he stated that for a couple of weeks before his dad had passed away, they had been getting phone calls about buying a motor for a race car, which in and of itself sounds kind of odd unless you're from here, because racing is a big deal here. But they decided they're going to go ahead and do this. What was odd about it was on a gravel road in the middle of nowhere, 13 miles from the closest town, where this interaction was going to take place in the middle of the night. Like, you don't do that. No, people don't normally do that. You have to have a reason for going out at around 3 in the morning. I'm not sure what time it was. I'm taking a guess that all the articles would say is in the early morning hours. I'm guessing at around 3 o'clock in the morning. And that is absolutely a guess. They go out and they meet somebody. And they get killed. So the son actually says in this interview that he and his father had discussed this meeting, the place and everything, and decided that, hey, this is kind of sketchy, so he shouldn't go alone. So he took Mr. Tabor with him. Now, him and Mr. Tabor apparently discussed this and decided that, hey, this is kind of weird. We probably better take something with us to protect ourselves. Myers takes a pistol. Tabor takes a shotgun. During the investigation, they released information to the newspaper saying that both men were armed and they had both fired shots. So how they fired shots from inside the vehicle, because it said they were found dead in the vehicle with gunshots to the back of the head, I don't know. Now, with the pistol, I could possibly understand it. You're the best. You could be the best shot in the world, and with a pistol, there's a slight chance you're going to miss. But Mr. Tabor had a shotgun. Well, honestly, it's kind of hard to miss with a shotgun, especially if you're firing birdshot or buckshot. If you know anything about guns, shotgun's pretty much a guaranteed hit. So where's the shooter? Nobody knows. According to both sheriff's departments, this is an ongoing investigation of 41 years, and nobody knows what actually happened to these guys. Who killed them? It's rather interesting to me, but it's just one of those things that this is a story that's never going to get told. Sorry about the wind, guys. Sorry. I had a little adventure today. I went out and visited Mr. Myers' grave. It is really cool. I mean, this man's got a picture of a Corvette on there. He was the Corvette King. Still has a lot of family around here. And I don't think they like people talking about it much. It doesn't seem that way. Anyways. But I encourage you, look the case up. Find some information on it. Be your own judge. I don't know if it was the mob or a scorned lover or what it was, but 2 men are dead and nobody knows who did it. It's kind of crazy. Now, folks, I'm just going to tell you, I had a little bit of an adventure today going out and looking at this, and if you want to know what happened, go over to my other channel. Me and my best good pal, Bird Dog. We have another channel. We call it Getting Polluted with Bird Dog and the Floof. We sit down and visit and talk about stuff that we did back in the day and things we find interesting. And the story of today's adventure is most definitely going to be talked about at some point tonight. Yeah, so rest in peace, Mr. Myers, Mr. Tabor. Hopefully someday somebody will investigate it far enough to find out who the murderer was. Y'all, have a great day. Have a great afternoon. Danger Floof is out.